Satnam Aloha. So I want to talk about the three-eye atlas phenomenon that we're seeing. But first I want to talk about Pluto is in the 60th gate. So this is a meme that I posted a couple days ago. So Pluto's in the 60th gate, line 6. And it's standing perfectly still right now. It's not moving. It's not going backwards. It's not going forward. It's stationary. And this is happening from October 6th to the 14th. And it can seem like time is standing still with Pluto in the 60th gate, line 6. And so the underworld stands still with it. So this means that every unresolved shadow, power dynamic, or buried truth surfaces in your nervous system. So do you feel the collective and personal death residue right now that's trying to clear? We're going through a huge purification process to prepare us for what's coming in February in 2026 with that Neptune Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries in the 25th gate, which I'll do a whole video on that. So also this week, just to note that the channel 5720 is defined, and this is fear of the future. The 57 brings fear of the future. That's the shadow. And this gate will heighten your intuition and anxiety because it picks up every little ripple in the collective field. And combined with the gate 20, this is the awareness of the present now, right? So the hot tip for you this week is to, when you project into the future, like you're doing your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, you need to throw that out the window because the cross of planning is ending in 2027. And you must know this. We're just being bombarded with change right now. Right? So when you project into the future, you're just going to feel dread and you're going to feel doom. That's normal. So you come back into the present now moment. So if you stay present, you'll feel your power. So this is what Pluto is teaching us right now. Okay, so keep that in mind. And let's go to the first slide. So three-eye atlas, third eye atlas. So if you haven't heard about this, it was discovered on July 1st. So here it is here. So they're saying that it's an interstellar object. There's all these theories. It's an alien probe. It's an alien ship. It's a comet. So they're unsure about this. So there it is there. And right now it's really close to Mars. So it's come from way, way back. Some are saying that it's come from the galactic center, our galactic center, and it's come into our solar system. So remember, as above, so below. So whatever we see in the external, it means that something is shifting in our consciousness. So now that we're able to see those things, like Uranus, right? When we didn't discover Uranus until 1781, we were ready. And Uranus brings awakening. Uranus brought revolution, the French Revolution, the American Revolution. So this too, this three-eye atlas is showing that something is shifting in the collective unconscious of humanity. So that's what I want to explore with this video. So just relax, right? If you're puttering, right? You're doing your housework, you're out for a walk, you're driving, just relax and listen and take in this information. And you're also taking in good vibes, right? You're taking in my vibes. So just keep your body relaxed, right? And just don't go into ADD, like with your mind and get all distracted and stuff. It's just, yeah, just relax and enjoy this. Okay, so it's coming close to the sun around October 29th, they say. It comes close to the sun. And it's said to not worry. They're not going to have a close encounter with the Earth. It's on schedule. It's on schedule. Okay, so let's go into the discovery chart. So 3i Atlas was discovered on July 1st in Chile. Do I have the data here? I think I do. July 1st, 2025 at 5:15 a.m. in Chile. Samo Alto is the closest I could get for the time, but we'll go to the astro chart too, and we'll see what's going on. What does this mean, right? What does this mean? How is it affecting the collective of humanity, and how is it here to awaken the collective consciousness right now? And more importantly, how is it affecting my fractal, the Phoenix fractal? So this is the imprint, and I'm just going to assume you know about human design. If you don't, just go to the information box and get your free chart. In some of these gates, you may have them, especially if you're born in July. You're going to relate to at least the sun and the earth position. So it's in the 39.1, right? The 39.1. And this is the gate of provocation, or the gate of obstruction. So there it is there. It's at the bottom of the root chakra right there. So as soon as you see the root or the crown, there's a pressure. So there's a root pressure here. And it's testing the emotional field of humanity. It's testing the emotional field. So remember, lock this in. We're going through a solar plexus mutation, it's called. So we're moving from a mental awareness system, and that's experiencing life through the mind, strategizing, living our life through the mind, which the mind, if we even look at your brain, it's like a walnut. So you got two sides. That's the duality. Wherever you find one, you find its opposite. We're moving from that. We're evolving past that. And we're moving into this solar plexus mutation. So this is the area of our emotions, and then this will mutate into spirit awareness system. So experiencing life and reality through spirit, through frequency, through vibration, not through thoughts and conceptualizing, right? Through the mind any longer. So one of the major keys that I talk about, right? Because the keys are changing the locks. The locks are the themes. The keys are changing. So two important keys here are the 55 and the 59. They're programming partners, right? So you may have this whole channel. I have this whole channel. It's the channel of emoting, 3955. Right? So if you have the 55, then you're aligned with the Phoenix codes. If you don't worry. If you're watching this channel, then you're part of this mutation that we're going through. But you're going to feel it, right? More viscerally if you have the 55 or the 5539. So the 39, to understand the 39 a little bit more, and this is 3i Atlas, has this energy. The 39 is poking, poke, and it's a poking the emotions of the other, right? Of the other, to see if they have the right spirit for you. So if you have this whole channel, just put it down in the comments if you do, or you have the 39, or maybe you have the 55, so people can reply to you, right? So if you poke somebody and they really react like a strong reaction, their ego comes out. The ego comes out flying to defense and projecting their shadow onto you. They are not for you. They're not the right spirit for you. But if you poke them, if you can poke that person and poke their emotions and they stay steady, they don't react, they respond, then yeah, they're the right spirit for you, and they appreciate that provocation, because the gift of the provocation is momentum, movement, liberation, right? Those are the gifts of this 35. So it's liberating the other spirit, right? The spirit of the other, bringing them back to life, right? The 39 is like the paddles, like bringing people back to life. So it's really a gift, this, right? This energy that's coming to our solar system. So we'll go deeper into this though, because it's really interesting. So it provokes, right? So it provokes hope. It provokes hope, right? So should I go down here? Let me see. Just so this lands for you. So if we go to, let's keep going down and then I'll go into the limo. So 39.1 in the sun position. The earth position is how it grounds, and that's the 38. That's all. The earth and sun are always in opposition, so that means they're programming partners, right? So 38's on the other side. And this is anchoring the 39.1 for struggle for purpose, right? So this is the exploration of struggle. And this isn't a full-on war. It's not going to bring in full-on war. But line 1 is like a little probe, right? It's like a light probe light. It's not going to be a huge war and conflict, but a little bit of conflict. And this is an introduction of conflict in our life as a human collective, so we can choose the correct battles. So a lot of this time is purification, right? It's purification, and it's also discernment, right? And this is really important for this 3i Atlas that we're learning. So this is learning what's worth fighting for. What's not your battle? Maybe your battle isn't like running on the internet and fighting with people about what side they're on. That's just a waste of energy. Maybe your battle is more local, right? Maybe your battle is standing up for yourself in your intimate relationship or your false fractal. Maybe that's your battle, right? So this is provoking how you're going to land it. Is like, what's my battle? And you'll know what's your battle and what's not your battle. What's not your battle is the not self and the ego. And the ego wanting to pump itself up, or the ego that wants to protect its identity. That's not your battle. You'll know what your battle is. You'll just feel it. It will be a visceral experience of like, this is mine. This is my battle. It's not coming from ego. It's coming from your being, right? It's coming from your soul. And then the moon, just add a little bit more. This is conflict. The shadow of conflict is the 6. So it's also the gate of intimacy, right? Because it's connected to the 59. I've talked about the 59 before. And this is withdrawing, because it's line 2. So it's withdrawing to maintain your integrity, right? So you're in a conflict and you just feel like, I'm out of balance. I'm losing my center. Well, the 6.2 is like, I'm going to withdraw. You know what? I'm going to go for a walk. I'm just going to go for a drive to just withdraw from this conflict so that you remain in your center. It's very important this month, November, December, to stay in your center. Stay in your center. It's like the storm, right? You know, the storm, there's always the eye of the storm. You want to be in the eye of the storm, and that's with the self, your authentic self. So this is an emotional imprint of the comet. We'll call it a comet. Is about pulling you back to discern. You're not rushing in. You're discerning. Again, this choosing your battles, where you want to put your energy. North node, 22.5, and the south node, 47.5. This is grace under pressure. There's the 22 coming off the solar plexus, right? Grace under pressure, cultivating graciousness in chaos. Again, center. And I'm in my center, right? I'm maintaining my integrity. Maintaining my graciousness. I'm not going to lose it, right? I'm maintaining my grace. South node is overwhelm of mental confusion. Mental confusion. So the nodal axis, because this is like the movie, the nodes represent the movie. The nodal axis is telling you maintain grace as alien data overwhelms your mind. This is an alien, meaning not like little green men, right? But an alien is something foreign to us. It's foreign to our solar system, is coming in. So it's bringing in a unique frequency. So we can call it an alien frequency. So that means data. That means information. Alien information is coming in. And if you are really, really sensitive and maybe you work the astral plane, you're already going to feel that it's there. I can feel it. It's there, this alien data. That's why we feel so strange right now, like time and disoriented and things like that. It's like the test is how do you react or do you respond to this alien data overwhelming the mind? It's overwhelming the mind. Right? And this is going to bring up ego, these buried egos in the unconscious. And I'm going to talk about that. Okay, so if we look at Mercury's in the 31.4, this is the leader's voice, but it's the law of friction, right? The 31, this is the shadow of arrogance, right? So this is the law of friction. So it's teaching by being a stabilizing example through turbulent times. People freaking out around you because they're being overwhelmed by this alien data. It's stirring stuff up in their unconscious. You are the lighthouse, right? You're the lighthouse in the storm. You're just the embodiment of chill. I'm just chill. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. And if I'm not, I withdraw myself. I get myself back centered. I do some long, deep breathing. I go meditate. I take care of myself. And by now, you should know how to take care of yourself. If you've been to any of my retreats, you have lots of tools that you have to okay, I know how to bring myself back to center now. I know how to stay relaxed. And that's really important for you as a divine feminine. On the fractal, the Phoenix fractal is to stay relaxed throughout whatever craziness, circus, right? Bread and circus is going on around you, is just to stay relaxed, right? And in your center. And then you've got Venus in 8.3, and this is all about your authentic voice. Your authentic voice is contribution through your own individual expression. There for Venus. And then Mars in the 40.3. And this is the gate of aloneness. And this is saying that you hold your integrity, you hold your authenticity, even when you're cut off from the tribe. Even if the tribe is going like they're lemmings just heading off the cliff, you stay centered, right? Even in aloneness, cut off from the tribe. I stick with my values. Right? Venus in the 8th. I stick with my own authenticity, my uniqueness. And then Jupiter is patience as a virtue. There's the 52. 52 is the gift of restraint. You're not running. You're not reacting to what's going on in the world or what's going on inside you with your ego in your mind. Reaction is going to be a huge reaction to this, right? So stillness, patience is a virtue. Let things unfold. Let things unfold. Everything is temporary, right? Everything has a beginning and an end. Whatever we're seeing out in the world, it's ending. It's collapsing. And then Neptune, of course, Neptune and Saturn were in the 25 during this time, different lines. And this is the universal love gate, the 25, and this is about the comet is bringing a childlike innocence, right? A childlike innocence wants to come back for humanity. We're all children of the divine. We're all children. That's our innocence. I did a whole video on innocence. If you can go back, I don't know how many back it went, but it was about this 25th gate. If you want to learn more about the 25, so it's setting boundaries, but it's from a place of innocence. It's from a place of innocence. So that's what the comet is also bringing. And more importantly, because remember I said at the beginning, Pluto's in 60.6, right? Because it went retrograde in May. And then it moved to 60.6. And it's going to go direct October 13th. I'll talk about that. And then December 6th, it's going back into the 41. Right? So it was in the 41 when 3i Atlas was discovered. So this is the start codon. Takes 248 years for Pluto to circle around the sun, to circle around all the numbers, all the 64 numbers. And now it's back. It's back to the beginning, right? So it's coming back. But it was during the discovery of 3i Atlas, it was in the 41. So this is a seed, right? It's a seed. This is a pressure to begin. Look, root chakra again, right? The pressure to begin. And the comet carries a seed of new experience. And it's coming from the underworld, right? Because it's Pluto. It's coming from deep, 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 deep in our unconscious. It's coming up. Something is coming up to be seeded. So this is pushing the collective evolution of humanity at the most primal level, right? What do we want to experience as a species? Now, what new thing do we want to experience as a species? Now, that's the question. So it digs up old buried appetites, old buried karmic urges, and the evolutionary potentials that are waiting to come into form, waiting to come into the earth plane. So line 2 is like a preparation and innocence. So it's the 41.2 is like, yeah, there was a seed that was planted with 3i Atlas, but it wasn't, you couldn't see it. It's not above the ground, right? Maybe the seed is cracked a little bit. Basically, it's germinating and incubating. It's the quiet pressure. It's just a quiet pressure deep, deep, deep within the unconscious. So 3i Atlas is not the friendly angel signature. It hasn't come here and sprinkling enlightenment dust all over us. And I'm going to explain why, because it's got that 39 signature. So we have to talk about one thing here. So maybe you know this if you know human design. Often we use the limo metaphor. Is that right? The metaphor? That the limo is the vehicle, right? So you have your vehicle is your physical body, basically. That's the limo. And then you've got a driver, right? And the driver of the vehicle is called the magnetic monopole. So that's what, it's a monopole. So it attracts to you all your experiences, basically everything. It keeps you in the separation. It keeps you in the illusion of separation in the Maya, basically, the driver. And the driver is just, things are just coming to you according to your destiny, right? And then there's you're the passenger, right? So you're in the limo as the passenger. There's just you. So this is who you think you are. This is like your personality that was formed through your life, right? So basically there's just you. But we're going in, if we go into the mystical part of human design, there's something else that can be in there with you, right? And it's based on, like, your chart is based on what you'll see, right? What you'll see. There's like an extra seat for something else. So you're designed to have mystical experiences according to your chart. So mystical encounters. So you hear about this, right? Like people, like they have interaction with ghosts, like ghosts. So that's mine. I have ghosts, and it's I haven't run across a ghost in a long time. But when I was traveling around a lot, because I'd be in new places, I would see a ghost pretty much every time I traveled, and I'm just used to it, and it's how I'm designed. And usually these ghosts they don't know they're dead. So I communicate to them. It's like, oh, I explain to them, like, you're dead. You're not supposed to be here, right? Your time, your experience is done here. And usually they're attached. They're attached to that place because that place they have fond memories of, right? So that's why people maybe that are attached to their bodies, their physical bodies, you hear about ghosts in the cemetery because they're attached. They're attached to the body, attached to a home, a certain home or a vacation home. That's who I would run across. And I would just remind them, like, you go back into the light, go back into the light. And I would do a little prayer for them, and then they would leave. They weren't like not like nasty ghosts, right? It was just like they were like lost souls. So that's what I'm designed, right? That I come in contact with ghosts, disembodied souls, right? So it depends on your chart. So for this particular chart, so it could be ghosts, it can be angels, it can be entities, it could be gods and goddesses, could be aliens. So for this one, for this chart, it's the 4. So it's 39.1.4, right? So what is that? It's demon. Demon in the passenger seat, right? Demons in the passenger seat. So for this, it's actually it's demons. So with this here, I'll get this. Yeah, so basically we have a demon in the limo. And so this means that humanity is going to come face to face with their demon. And another word for demon is shadow, right? Is the deepest shadow. So this can feel like a demon, like really, really close to you, your shadow. So it's a test, right? It's totally a test. And it's also, because it's the 39th gate, that it's an opportunity to liberate yourself from your demons, from your shadows, your deepest shadows. So this is inviting you, the 39.1.2, right? It's 0.2. Invites the shadow side of other realms into your conversation. It's like this. It's like saying the comet arrives carrying the imprint of the other. It's carrying your shadow with you, the unseen, the demon, the trickster, the dark teacher. So it's a cosmic test of our ability to engage with this energy, right? With this I don't even want to say demonic energy, shadow energy, right? Archetype without losing your center, here. I'm being called to share something. So I had a dream last night? A couple nights ago. I think it was to prepare me for this transmission. And It wasn't a dream. I felt like I astral traveled. Actually, I was in the lower astral realm, and I walked into a gym. And there was a demon on the way on the other side of the room, and he threw this medicine ball, like a huge medicine ball, at me. Right. And I was really, really calm. That's what I remember in my experience. And I just ducked. I ducked really quickly and it went past me. And then the demon was like traveled and he was right in front of me. And I looked him in the eyes and it was all black. His eyes were all black. And again, really, really calm and in my power. And I just said, by the power of God, I command you to leave now. Right? So I was in my power. And I looked into the eyes of the demon and the color of the eyes started shifting to a light blue, like a sky blue. It looked like the sky. And then he just disappeared. Right? The demon just disappeared. So I feel like it's not like maybe people I do a lot of work. I've got Venus and North Node in my 12th house. So I'm a lucid dreamer. So I do a lot of work in my dreams. So you may encounter these entities yourself, right? So it's all about remembering who you are, that you have the power. You can claim the power of God because you've humbled yourself to the divine. So it's not your power. You're humbling yourself to the power of God. It's like a wave, right? A wave humbles themselves to the ocean. They're not the ocean, but they're connected to the power of the ocean. So you too, right? So this is a test. It's how we're going to deal with this alien other energy. And this is warming us up for 2027. This is a warm up. It's like a warm up lap, right? Here. And it's the first line. So it's going to be fairly gentle, what will be happening to us. And it's based on you, right? And what you need for your liberation. So you may attract it inward like me, or you'll attract it outward, and I'll talk about when that will happen, right? Because we can track it. So this isn't the friendly angel coming in, right? The friendly angel here. This is the hopeful shadow bringer. It's bringing your shadow to you. It's no longer going to be buried. You're going to come face to face with your shadow. And we have many shadows, but major shadows that have been following you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So it's testing, it's provoking, it's testing your emotional fields, it's carrying these archetypes of the other, and it's asking you to stay gracious, right? And still and discerning as you meet the unknown, staying calm because you are a child of God in the divine. If you forget that, you start battling the shadow and you start going into fear, right? Freeze, flight, fight, or fawn. You're just feeding that shadow with your energy, right? And you don't want to do that anymore. We're moving into a whole new world. So with Pluto in the 41.2, this is an initiation of a whole new experience. This is like the cosmic first gate that's opening, right? So it's a test. And maybe it's a test, I'm thinking right now, could be a test of like other extraterrestrials coming to getting right. Maybe it is a probe. We could look at it like that. It's a probe just to test the waters of humanity. How are they going to react, right? Because there needs to be a huge purification first, and all these shadows have to leave. And they're leaving through each one of us internally. Okay. So we also want to look at projection too. Projection. Because it's a second line, right? So in terms of the outer, are you projecting your shadow onto other people? Are you projecting this demon onto other people? Well, they're the demon, not owning it, not owning your own shadow. So this is about being graceful too. I'm not going to immediately project my shadow, because if you're in shadow, your whole perception is warped. You can't see clearly. You have no clarity, right? So it's like to own it first. I'm going to withdraw the 6, right? I'm going to withdraw and come back into my integrity. And I'm going to own what's mine. And then I'm going to discern that's yours and this is mine, right? So you want to hold hope even when you're provoked, right? You want to stay in grace while there's the information overload that we're in, and you want to withdraw when necessary, the 6th gate, to preserve your emotional clarity. When you're emotional, you cannot see clearly. You can't. You're under the emotional wave. You don't have clarity, and you're disconnected from your intelligence, which is your heart, right? And you want to express individually, right? From innocence, from your light, not from reaction. You're not in your head scripting. Well, this is what a spiritual person should say. No, you're in your heart, in your own innocence, knowing that you're a child of God, and you speak from that place. And maybe what you speak out doesn't look like it's spiritual, but it's coming from a real, authentic place within you. Right? You're not reacting. And then you want that seed, the 41, the Pluto, the plant to plant, right? To plant. New experiences or revelations will come through dreams, or when you're in a liminal state, you're not asleep, you're not awake, right? You're in a liminal space, things can come up like a meditative space and receive intuitive downloads. So basically, 3-Eye Atlas is coming in to test, how does humanity do when they come face to face with their shadows, right? Like right up in their face. And if you've been doing this work, this is going to be like old school for you, right? Have you been doing shadow work for a long time? It's going to be super easy. So the mystical who shares your limo teaching is about discernment. And are you a host or are you a sovereign traveler? Are you letting that demon drive the limo? Right? Are you at the wheel? Are you letting the driver at the wheel, right? At the wheel, your driver. This is trust in life. I'm letting my driver at the wheel. I'm kicking back as passenger consciousness, right? Okay. So, where do we want to go next? Maybe a little bit of the astrology. I don't want to make this too long because the astrology is worth looking at too. There we go. Let's see. So this was July 1st, 2025. So right away, the sun and Jupiter are squaring Saturn and Neptune up here. And so the sun is conjunct, look, really close, only, 5 minutes apart here. So the sun's conjunction with Jupiter says that the chart is a mission to expand awareness for humanity, but it's squaring Saturn and Neptune. And so this means that it does this by shattering illusions, shattering your illusions and testing structures. So it's a signature of a being, we can call it a being, 3-Eye Atlas, that provokes hope through disillusionment, right? So that totally matches human design with the 39.1. So the comet's role is faith through friction, through conflict, through confrontation. I keep my faith. And the lunar field, moon in Virgo, trining Venus and Uranus here in Taurus. And then it's with Pluto, right? With Pluto on the other side, opposing Saturn and Neptune. So emotionally, this is an alchemy through polarity. The moon feels separated from source, separated from the divine. Yeah, channels beauty and evolution with the Venus, Uranus, Pluto trines. So this is mirroring the 6-2, right? The 6.2 in the human design. And this is intimacy that's born of healthy distance. So that's withdrawing, not staying, I got to fight till the end. I got to get the last word in. No, I'm maintaining my integrity. I'm maintaining my calmness. I'm going to withdraw. I'm not avoiding conflict, but I'm withdrawing so that I come back into my center. And then I re-enter. So that's a total mirror of that. And then emotional teaching is don't merge to escape pain. Merge after awareness. So don't be merging to escape pain with another person. I'm not merging to escape my pain. I'm suffering. I'm just going to merge with another person. I'm going to merge after awareness comes. After awareness comes. And then Saturn is conjunct Neptune, right? And it's sextile Pluto. So this is a triple link, right? And it's massive. This is the end of an era formation, thus dissolving old belief systems while birthing a new spiritual architecture. So Pluto in the 41.2 in human design seeding a new experience for humanity. So 3i Atlas was born meaning discovered under a rare trinity of structure, right? With Saturn and Neptune, the structure and mysticism, and then transmutation. So it's like this is a signature of the architect of the invisible world, basically. So Venus and Uranus conjunct the ascendant. Really close to the ascendant here. So this is a shock, right? It's a shock. It's beautiful that awakens. So this is a being that arrives to electrify the feminine. Right? So this is really important for the divine feminine. It's awakening the feminine values, the feminine principles. Right? So this is, in Uranus is like technology too. So this is the feminine moving through technology, we could see too. It's the cosmic muse, that refuses to conform because Uranus is there. And then Mercury, this is big. See, look, Mercury is opposing Pluto. Mercury's in Leo when it was discovered, and then Pluto is in Aquarius. And they're only like 2 degrees apart here, right? So this is the mind that probes the underworld with integrity. So Mercury-Pluto oppositions are all about truth bombs. Truth bombs will start to be dropped. And we're already seeing that in the world. There's lots of truth bombs that have happened since July 1st, right? So this aligns with the shadow revealing communicator, right? Shadows. So shadows that have been long buried are going to start emerging. Yeah, and it's going to affect our thinking, our mind, or the way that we communicate, right? And about our human speech. Okay, and then Lilith isn't here. I forgot to put her on here. But anyway, the sun is trining Lilith because she's in Scorpio. And it's exact, actually. And so the comet solar life force flows directly through Lilith. And this is the raw exile feminine, Lilith, current. So she's discovered, this energy frequency is in this Right. So what does this mean? This is like it's exposing the feminine that's been exiled, the feminine that's been suppressed, the voice of the feminine that's been suppressed, feminine power buried and repressed, right? Hidden. So this is when we come to October 22nd and onward that I'll talk about. This signature is coming back like tenfold because we're in a Scorpio party. So this same frequency as the sun moving through Lilith is going to come back amplified, like really, really powerfully. Okay. And let's go into that actually. Right? So there's October 2nd. The Scorpio party starts. And the Scorpio party starts. Neptune is going back into Pisces, into its sign, because Neptune rules Pisces. So it's last time. And that is happening on October 22nd. So just before that. And then after that, the sun scoots in with the moon, Mars, and Mercury, all in Scorpio. And Pluto, that's been in the 60.6 that I talked about, right? It goes direct on October 13th. It starts moving. It's at a standstill right now, and then it starts moving. So this is power turns outward. People will feel it in the collective nervous system. Right? And this means that we'll start to see the shadows on the external. So take note of that date, October 13th, when Pluto goes direct. It starts moving, right? It starts moving forward again. No longer retrograde, no longer still. It's like we start attracting those shadows to us. Okay. So out of bounds. So, and there's also Pluto is out of bounds. I forgot to mention that. So that's not business as usual. This is like everything's being rewritten and reset. It's very transformative, Pluto, right? So October 13th is really a seeding moment. It's a reseeding moment. And this fits with the cross of the sleeping phoenix energy that starts in 2027. It's about the end of the global bargain, right? And the beginning of self-sourced, no longer outsourcing, no longer giving your power over to the external. And of course, not everyone is going to do this, but it's a collective transit. So if you're already have been doing a lot of your inner work, then you're going to feel this. No, I'm not giving my power away anymore. I'm going to start listening to my own inner being. I'm going to start listening to my intuition. No, this is the cross of the sleeping phoenix energy. It's a self-sovereign living. So Pluto, right, is going into 41.1 in December 6th. So this is the planting of the genetic seed of that cycle, right? So 3i brought it in, and then this is like it's seeded here, and this is the genetic shift. So humanity still was Pluto still in 60.6 until December 6th. Humanity is staring at the limit that you can't outsource your sovereignty to old systems anymore. This is digital ID. You wait and see when Pluto starts going direct. It's going to be really, the pressure is going to be on. You need to get a digital ID or you can't work. You need to get a digital ID or you can't get your medical benefits, right? And this is the power grab before Pluto goes into the 41.1. So you have to look at those limitations, right? The limitations that you're going to be faced with. And are you going to transcend them? Are you going to fight against that shadow? Or are you going to use that energy and transcend your own internal structures? You have a structure inside you, an energetic structure. Are you going to transcend that? right? This is the test. It's the test. The wisdom is 60.6. It's the end of this gate, right? Of the shadow of limitation. And this is like saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not outsourcing my power anymore. Generators, manifesting generators. No, I'm not giving my energy to this anymore. I'm not feeding this system anymore. It's crumbling. Okay, so this is why the control grid feels really alive right now. It's because of this Pluto 60.6. It's showing us the outer expression of our own inner limits. It's just a reflection of our own resistance to claiming our own power. Once we start doing that, so don't pay any attention what's going on in the collective. It's best if you focus on you, what you can do. That makes you feel powerless, right? That's outsourcing. That's, it's about going inward. Where are my limits? That's what I have to start to transcend. What are my limiting beliefs? Things like that. So December is really the choice point. Do you live the new experience from a self-sovereign aura, right? Or do you carry the old conditioning into the new grid? Are you bringing that old baggage into the new grid, or are you going to live as a self-sovereign being and step into your power? So October 13th, take note of that, October 13th, when Pluto starts moving forward, that's the day the underworld power, what's in the underworld right now, turns outward. And people will feel it in their nervous system. October 22nd, that's when Neptune moves back into Pisces. And this is like all the illusion, right? So all the illusion starts to break down, the glamoring, all of that's going to come out, the smoke and mirrors. We're going to start to see it, right? What's behind the veil here. So this is the revelation. Sun is squaring Pluto. This is the revelation portal. So humanity is at the end of the old temple. Neptune in Pisces, that's the very end of the zodiac is Pisces, and it's Neptune. So the last thing that was built, right? The last thing that was built by humanity in the age of Pisces will start to dissolve. It's the end. It's showing us that it's the end. And it's the 29th degree, so it's going to be this is a critical degree, so we're going to see all the truth, right? We'll start to see the truth. Okay, so it's your choice point. Okay. So, and we got all that Scorpio, that scorpionic energy, right? To get to the bottom of things, to get to the truth. And it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, this shadow. But you are going to stay steady. You're going to stay in your integrity. You're going to stay centered. Okay. So the 3-eye atlas is not sweeping through, sprinkling enlightenment dust everywhere. And we're starting all going to be awake and holding hands and singing Kumbaya, right? It's not going to happen. The 3-eye atlas is going to come, and it's like an irritant to the oyster, right? It's going to bring up all this shadow. So the hidden shadow surfaces to challenge the new collective order. It has to, or it has to come up to be seen, because a new collective order is coming, right? So it's coming as an interstellar messenger, this 3-eye atlas. So this is the perfect storm, right? So the sky is full of Scorpio, the comet, the messenger, right? The outsider messenger. Neptune at 29, the final dissolution of the Piscean dream and the spiritual bypassing. I'm going to talk about that. And then Sun is squaring Pluto, and this is the power confrontation between the hidden depths of Scorpio and then the emerging systems of Aquarius. So it's basically this hidden shadow is surfacing. Okay, so you don't want to rush into you want to stay gracious in the chaos. I'm repeating myself, so you got this message. You want to watch for any outsider themes, alien outsider themes, new ideas, people, disclosures, and you want to stay steady in that, opening yourself up to the new. And then you want to purge the illusion. So this is everything you've been spiritually bypassing on. I'm not doing that, right? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go do my inner child work. I'm not going to deal with this shadow, right? It's going to come up. It's going to come up. And then the Scorpio stellium is about intimacy, power, and taboo issues, and they're going to flare up so they can be alchemized. They need to be seen so you can alchemize them. And then Sun square Pluto is about breaking free of hidden control systems, right? So this is the most, right? We're almost through 2025, but we're in the show now. We're totally in the show here. Okay. So that, and then I want to talk about something in particular that was coming into my awareness, and this is something called, there's some with great change. I think I talked about this before. With humanity, when there's great change, people can do a few things. They can completely fantasize about the future, right? One of the things that they can do is they can create these fantasies about the future, and it's going to be so wonderful and this and that. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but it's not rooted in soul. It's kind of rooted in ego. And it can be escapism with that Neptune going in the 29 degree. That's one of the qualities, the shadow qualities of Neptune and Pisces is escapism through addiction, through fantasy. So hopium, I want to talk about the difference between hopium versus faith, because the 39 is at point 39.2, right? So 0.2, and that's hope. That's hope. So it's demons, that's the mystical, but it's also hope. It's hope. So in terms of the higher octave of hope is really faith. It's faith. And then there's something called hopium. So this is the emotional drug of the Piscean age, is hopium. So this is fantasy disguised as spirituality. And you see this out on YouTube, right? Oh, I just have to keep my heart open. I just have to have positive thoughts, right? And I'll get through this time. That's called spiritual bypassing. So it's fantasy disguised as spirituality, and it's the rush. It's a rush. It's an emotional rush that comes from imagining the outcome rather than embodying the disciplined requirement to get there, right? So hopium is someone or something outside of me, like this, right? This interstellar comet or whatever is going to come and save me. The light's just going to come down and descend, and it's going to fix everything. Jesus is going to come down off the cloud, and he's going to fix everything, right? It's outsourcing, and that's hopium. That's hopium. So faith at a high frequency is I am the conduit, right? I am the conduit. I'm humbling myself to a higher power than me, and I am the conduit, which the light must move through, which the light must act through. That's faith. That's faith. It's not hoping, right? So the real difference between hopium and faith, because hopium feels good, makes you feel good, like you're doing something. But it's not rooted. You're not embodied. You're outsourcing it right into your mind, right? It's about your mind. So the difference is about embodiment. When you have faith, you're embodied. So hope is chasing a feeling. Hope is running after a feeling. Faith keeps building even when the feeling's not there. When you don't have that good feeling, you still hold on to faith, right? You keep building. So hope is like scrolling for signs, right? Faith is planting a seed, right? It's planting a seed in the dark. You can't see it, but you keep watering. That's what faith is. So with the 3-eye atlas, that's a distinction right there. So the grade 39 provokes the false hope bubble, right? The 39 is this, getting rid of this. It's provoking the false hope bubble. So all those hopes that you've had will start dissolving, right? All this, I'm in the 5D dimension, right? But I'll be there by next weekend because this 3 eyes coming in, right? I just have to keep my heart open and my thoughts positive, and I'm just going to receive this, and I'll be in 5D. So this will happen. There will be disillusionment, right? That's another part of Neptune, this disillusionment, like let down. Your hopes let down. The fantasy gets busted by that 39. So this is, humanity will feel this en masse of their addiction to hopium, that a savior is going to come and save me, right? That's hopium. So the discomfort, right? So it can be very, very uncomfortable time that we're moving through. So this is where Pluto can really come in and test our faith. Pluto, 60.6, all the foolishness that's happening on the planet for power and control and fear, right? And fear. So the gate of limitation reminds us that real faith has to have a form, and it starts with us, right? So we can't transcend matter until we respect its boundaries. So faith isn't an escape hatch, it's a devotion inside the limit. Here I am, I'm in this limitation, I can see it. Whatever, I know people are going through their stuff, wherever in your life you're feeling limited, but it's still, I have faith. Still, I have faith. I'm embodying this. I'm not hoping that something outside of me is going to come and save me, right? I have faith. I have faith. I have faith in the divine because the divine is within me. It's funny, I can feel something around me right now. But it, just a sec. Just want whatever that was to move through me. Let me know if you feel it too during this part of, I'm getting like a shiver or something here about faith, So we'll be tested. We'll be tested on our faith, and we already are, right? So faith is the knowingness. It's a knowingness. It's not knowing through your head, but it's a knowingness deep inside you that we're already there. We've already gotten through this really tough time as a humanity. We've already gone down through the birth canal. We've already been rebirthed into the light, into our higher selves. That's faith. That's faith. We're already that, but we have to go through this process, right? So it's moment by moment by moment. So this is really a good time for you to start to bring in those Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix codes. And one of them is the 20, and that's about being aware of the present now moment. So if you find yourself going into fear, look at that as a signal. Oh, I've moved away from my divinity. I'm coming back. Your divinity is what you want. You want your peace. You want peace, right? And so whatever is taking you from your peace, again, it's that 6th gate. I'm going to withdraw and come back into my peace. And that's your divinity, and your divinity is not found in the afterlife. Oh, when I get to heaven, that's right now. It's about bringing the kingdom of heaven now. And the kingdom of heaven is in each one of us, in our hearts, right? So this is the faith. You have faith. You know, not knowing through the mind, but knowing. It's like a knowingness. You just know right to every cell of your being just knows, right? That's faith, that we've already won. We're already there. We just have to go through this process, right? Okay. So fantasy is chasing a high, the dopamine hit, right? But faith is carrying the cross. And carrying the cross is owning your shadow. Shadow's coming up. It's mine to do. It's my work to do. I'm going to alchemize this. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to face it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to transmute it. That's my responsibility. Right? So you can't avoid the shadow and you can't outsource your shadow. Here, you take care of my shadow. No, you have to take care of your own shadow. And the best thing to do is not be projecting it outward onto others. Right? Okay. So remember not to go into this hopium. It's like, I create my reality. You hear this a lot. That is false teachings. I create my reality. What is that? That's the ego. It's the ego vibration hacking, right? I have to change my vibration. I need to change this. I need to change that. It's all ego, right? And I'll be okay as long as I have high enough thoughts. Complete avoidance of the shadow, right? So it's just about, I'm having negative thoughts. What's going on inside me? Something's coming up to be alchemized. Some fears coming up to be alchemized, right? Whatever it is. Anger's coming up to be alchemized. So this for integration is, I can meet whatever arises. I can meet whatever arises with awareness and love, and transformation follows naturally. Okay. So just the wrap up here. Here. So you provoke. So the core theme here is getting provoked, and you will see people provoked in your life. And that's a great way to discern if they're correct for you or not. Do they have the correct spirit for you or not? Is to watch somebody provoked, right? So if someone is triggered and they're not your frequency, you remain steady. You remain steady, and if you're provoking someone else and they're remaining steady, then there's a resonance there. If not, there's no resonance there. So your wisdom comes from when to engage and when to return without collapsing your own value in the process. Okay. And there we go, right? 3-eye atlas here. Who's the demon in your car? So look at who's the demon in your car. And yeah, let's go into that a little bit, right? So I went into this. I don't need to go into that again for you. You're smart. So what now to do? CTBs instead of CTAs. Right? Call to action is called to being. You're called to being. And this is you, the phoenix, ready to fly for 2027 or earlier. So what do you want to do here? So what do you do, right? People like things that they can do to go into being. So you want to acknowledge the passenger, right? So you want to name the demon, whatever the demon is coming up for you. It could be resentment, jealousy, exhaustion, the wish to control, the fear of being seen. And naming breaks the spell. As soon as you name it, there's the demon. I'm naming it. Name it. Don't run from it. Name it. And it stops being the demon and it becomes this energy of resentment. It's just the embodiment of the shadow. It has to take a form. That's how the mind works, right? It needs to puts things into form, but it's really about the energy. So you name it and will transform into the energy. You want to invite it into dialogue. Get out your journal. Rather than banishing the angel or the demon, have them ask, what have you been trying to protect me from? Right? Ask the demon that. And the shadow often guards buried innocence too. So when it's heard, it relaxes the grip. Right? So it could be right? You're feeling anger. Let's say your demon is anger. I'm really, really, really angry. You ask the demon, what are you protecting? What is this anger protecting you from? Oh, fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. I don't want to face that wound. It's like so devastating to me. It's going to crack my heart open. It's so painful. So anger comes up. That's the demon. I get angry. I lash out because the demon is protecting you from this rejection, abandonment wound, right? So there's always something underneath anger. Okay. And then number 3 is stay in the driver's seat, right? When you're in the limo, right? You want to, stay in the driver's seat means stay in the passenger seat, right? Because human design is the driver is the magnetic monopole. But basically you not abdicating your power, staying in your power, right? So you want to be the one in the seat. So you don't need to wrestle or worship the demon. You just are conscious. So every time the shadow tries to grab your life, try to control your life, with self-pity, rage, judgment, you want to pause and breathe and reclaim yourself, right? Through presence and through your breath. You are in the seat, right? I wish we didn't have this limo thing with human design. Yeah, so there's the demon, right? Get out of my unconscious and get into my car, right? There's the demon. So this is what's happening during this time. So you want to replace hopium with faithful action. So hope is like, well, maybe the demon will just go. And faith says, I can learn, right? I can learn with awareness. Faith is, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to experiment with this. You're coming into a whole new territory now. We all are as a humanity. We haven't been here before. This is completely new with the cross of the sleeping phoenix. So I'm going to learn, right? I'm going to learn about my awareness. I'm going to learn more about my shadow patterns, right? With this demon beside me. You want to turn fantasy into practice. So journaling, grounding, having honest conversations, prayer, movement. And then you want to transmute through embodiment. So when you feel the pressure building, you can move the energy through breath, sound, like dance or motion. Remember, the 39 is down at the root chakra. So the root chakra is like you got to move the energy here. And then the demon's fire. So the provocation becomes purification, and the demon's fire becomes creative fuel. Right? So you don't need to try to throw the demon out of the limo. You don't need to do that. You need to see it. You need to love it and stop letting it take control of your life, basically. And that you have the power, right? Like my dream. By the power of God, I command you to leave now. Right? And it will go. It will go. But here's some things, other things that you can do too. Okay. So it should be an interesting couple months here. So the next on the agenda here is some tarot reading. And, okay, so this is for the fractal line here. Let's see if you can see that better. I like to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, So what's the shadow surfacing? This is the 3-eye atlas reading for my fractal. So we got the Queen of Swords reversed, the 9 of Swords reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed. And this is what's the shadow that's surfacing for the fractal. So this is a collective mind that's tired of managing their pain through the intellect or avoidance. So the Queen of Swords reversed becomes brittle when she overanalyzes. And the nine of Swords reversed is like anxiety loop is breaking, and the Page of Cups reversed is as emotional immaturity. People numbing, the fractal members numbing, or trying to stay above, right? So they're escaping, right? This Page of Cups reversed is either escaping their emotions, not wanting to deal with them, not wanting to feel them. So the demon here is mental detachment from emotions, escaping your emotions through your intellect, right? Using your intellect to control your emotions. So trying to stay above the pain instead of inside it. And you may say, I don't do that. My partner does that. That's shadow. This is within you. You do that, and you've just projected it on your partner, and your partner does that to you. He'll intellectualize, talk you out of your emotions. This is why you're angry, and this is what you have to do, right? Instead of like holding space for you so that you can feel. But again, you don't want to be blaming, right? With that second line is projection. You want to bring it back to you. So what's this shadow trying to teach you? The Knight of Wands. The lesson is reanimate yourself, come back to life. So this raw Mars energy, it's Mars energy, wants movement, it wants courage, it wants creative risks. It's saying don't stay here. Analysis paralysis in your mind, right? This is about ignite, express, and move. Though the 3-eye atlas frequency provokes to awaken your passion again, that's been frozen by fear of chaos. You're fearing chaos, so you're going and staying in your mind. And you're staying in your mind. So 39, right? This is momentum. The gift of the 39 is momentum. It's to get to move. It's liberate yourself. Bring yourself back to life. Where your resistance is the 9 of Wands reversed. And this is fatigue. It's the warrior that's exhausted. You're guarded. You've done so much healing work, right? That you're saying not again. Right? I've done so much shadow work already. I've done so much inner child work already. I can't do any more, right? I can't do it, not again. So this is what's your resistance, right? You have to face this resistance. And remember, healing is a spiral. It's a spiral. You spiral down and then you go up, and you spiral down again, and you go a little bit deeper, and then you go up, and it moves like that. So that the wall that once protected, it's preventing you. You've got a wall that you've hit, and it's like this is your next wall that you have to move through, that you still have work to do. You still have shadow work, but there's a lot of power underneath this. So this is a place that you have to soften and let the armor down so a new strength can actually enter. You have to soften. You have to soften now. You have to surrender even more now, right? There's a wall there that needs to collapse, right? You're at the next stage. This is a huge rebirth for all of us, right? So it's like, okay, I hit a wall and I'm going to just soften. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to have patience with this, right? And to trust. So that's your resistance. That's your block right there is the 9 of Wands. Okay. Because upright, it's like, yeah, I'm still standing, right? I'm still standing. I'm ready to go. Nobody can knock me down, right? Yes, I fell off the horse, but I'm back up again. So this is your action and your embodiment is the Empress card. So this is saying to come back into your body, come back into your beauty and your nourishment, right? And women are absolutely beautiful when they're relaxed. Speak to any man, he'll tell you that. Women are the most beautiful when they are relaxed in their body. So this is you being told to come back, nourish yourself, right? Take care of your body, be the empress and sit in your magnetism, right? This is Venus, right? Taurus here. So eat, rest, create, garden, be in nature, be with your pets, sing, anything that feeds rather than fixes. So you're bringing all your energy back to your body, out of the mind into your body. You're going to be in your body. And it's through your senses, right? So the Empress reminds them that regeneration doesn't happen in the head. Movement doesn't happen. Change and transformation never happens in the head. It happens in the body, right? Through love and through the physical. The Empress is very in her physicality, right? Slow down. This Empress is like, slow down and take care of yourself during this time. And then the gift after integration, after you've done this work, is the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Star reversed. So at first, this can feel like a delay. The seeds aren't sprouting yet. You maybe you question your hope. This is the test of faith right here, Star reversed. But with the Queen of Wands is anchoring the whole thing, right? The whole reading. This is these reversals, because the reversals are saying that you just have a new foundation and a new inspiration. They're gestating, so that fits with the energy of the 3-eye atlas, right? It's underneath, you can't see it. Just because the Queen of Wands is here, it's a very positive card. And once the Empress, once you are embodied and you're in your body and you're in your Empress energy, then these two start to sprout, right? Faith returns, opportunities return. And this is money, you're right, your foundation, that returns. And new inspiration. And then this renewed faith. So the Queen of Wands is your true essence for the fractal and the Empress. And so this is confidence, it's creative fire, it's charisma, and it's authenticity. So the shadow is mental control. Your medicine is embodied faith, right? So you're moving from the head to the heart, from concept to creation, from avoidance to aliveness, right? So the mind wants to analyze this demon, but the body knows how to integrate it. Your body knows how to integrate it. The shadow is a visceral experience, right? And it will open up your heart. It's an energy that you feel in your body. You don't need to analyze it to death and where it came from and right and whose fault it was and how it's like, no, you just as it arises, or sweep as you go. That's what I say, sweep as you go. As things start to surface, you deal with them in the present now moment and alchemize them from this Empress energy. Relaxed, right? Relaxed. Trusting, having faith. Okay. So let those feelings move. Okay, so that's the fractal. And you really have to start, fractal, you really have to start to learn this. Like, really get this. This is a real thing, moving from the mental awareness system into this embodiment. It's all about embodiment. This is where your prosperity is. This is where your soul purpose is. This is where your fractal, your soul tribe is. You have to be embodied. You have to come into this Empress energy. This means slowing down, taking your time, right? Loving yourself, loving to be in the body. That's the 15, right? The 15th gate. Your magnetism starts to expand when you're in this Empress energy. So just try it. Have a day where you're embodied, where you're not in this Nine of Swords, anxious and in your mind and jumpy and right. And have a day where you're embodied and see what happens. You can stretch time and space when you slow down. And Atlas is saying that too. Remember, Jupiter was in the 52 when it was discovered. Patience is a virtue. Okay, so let's go. Let's finish it off with the twin flame. Let's see this. If you're on the twin flame path. Okay, and the twin flames. So what's the old identity that's dying for the divine feminine on the twin flame journey? It's and remember, I just wanted, because I've done a couple readings this week, and they were on, all of them were on twin flame journeys. I think pretty much all of them. On the twin flame path is, remember, after 2027, right? The frequency of the planet's going to be like really radically changing, and the motivation of how we come together in relationship is changing and shifting. And so that, and after all this purification work we're doing as a humanity, that the frequency will be cleaner and purer to bring the more and more twin flame will actually come into physical union. And it's not hopium. It's all about faith and then embodiment. So again, going back to the fractal read, if you haven't listened to that, listen to that. It's about embracing the Empress energy and being the embodiment. That's what you're called to do, is to go back to you, right? Go back to you. So what's the old identity that's dying during this time for the divine feminine? Is the Knight of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords. So this is the part of you that over-explains, defensive with others, justifies, and tries to stay ahead through the intellect. Again, this is an echo of this message. This is being retired. This old identity of you being in your head and in your intellect is dying. So the mind used to protect you from rejection. Used your mind to protect you from rejection. And now it just keeps you in a loop of analysis paralysis. So the old defensive intelligence, which is not real intelligence, this is so, I'm thinking of the iceberg picture, right? On the ocean, and you just see the tip, and then there's this whole huge mass of ice on the bottom that you can't see. That little tip on the iceberg, that's your intellect. And your true intelligence is like that huge mass under the water, and that is in your body, in your heart. Your heart's way more intelligent, much more intelligent than the intellect. And this is what you're realizing. I don't want to fight with the swords anymore. I don't want to rush in and protect myself with the intellect anymore. That's not where my power is. That's what you're saying now as a divine feminine. My power is when I'm embodied. So this old identity is dissolving. So the truth beneath the illusion of love. This is real. This is what you're learning, Divine Feminine, on the Twin Flame path. What's the truth behind this illusion of love with this tribal bargain, right? The tribal consciousness telling us what love is. What's love, right? Love is like I sacrifice my authenticity for the other person. We've gotten that messaging so much in our mainstream media and growing up, right? And that's the old tribal bargain. You put on this role, you get rid of your dreams and your aspirations, and this is what it means to love someone. You sacrifice yourself, you drain yourself, you stay invisible, right? Or whatever those things are. So what you're learning here is the Three of Cups, the Queen of Wands reversed, and then the Four of Wands in the Sun. So this is saying that true love, love does not mean that you shrink yourself, that you make yourself small. Oh, it's humble if I don't say anything, right? It's humble if I make their voice more important than mine. So you're learning that no, doesn't require shrinking. True love does not require shrinking. The illusion was that harmony equaled safety. Go along to get along meant that you were safe, and now that's you're realizing the truth of that. That's not true. So the true harmony and the true safety comes from authentic frequency. It's from being honest and authentic, not about being obedient and compliant. So when you dim your light, you cut off the very magnetism that would attract to you equal souls, your divine counterparts. When you dim your light, you cut that off. Right? Women have been taught this. Well, you can't be smarter than your man, right? You got to play dumb, pretend that you don't know something, ask him a question so he can kind of puff up his ego and feel good about being a man. These are all the lies. And that's the Queen of Wands reversed. You want to flip the Queen of Wands up, right? True love is you being on your authentic self. And then you attract to you people who are aligned with that authenticity. They're not afraid of your power. You being powerful doesn't diminish their power. You holding your light doesn't diminish their light. That's the lie that you've been taught. These are the shadows that are going to start to come up. You're going to start to see them really, really clearly. These are the demons, right? That I have to do this to be loved. I have to earn my love, right? That's a demon. It's not true. It's a fear of being alone, right? And then you go deep and you alchemize. What's that fear about, right? What do I feel? And you feel it. Okay, so in that, the other thing that you're learning, because this is a friendship card, the Three of Cups is friendship. You're learning that true union, because that's what you want. If you're on the twin flame path, then you want true union with another soul, right? And what you're learning is that true union, yes, it comes with friendship, but that's not all it is. Right? This is a settling card. I'm settling, right? I'm settling. Well, this is as good as it gets, right? We're friendly. We enjoy talking to one another. No, you want true union, soul merging. That's what you want, right? So this is saying that what's ahead is joyful, because you've got the sun. There's the twin flame card, the Four of Wands. What's ahead of you is joyful, embodied partnership, true partnership that carries the heart and the soul, the Four of Wands, and the creative sun. Here, you feel alive in union. You're doing your soul purpose in union, right? You're growing, you're expanding in true union. Okay, so you want this up again, right? This up again. And this is, you want everything in terms of your sexual fulfillment as well, right? So that's what this is saying too, because the end here is this Ace of Wands. That's why I'm saying this. That just don't settle. That's what these cards are saying. You're learning the truth and the illusion, like that. This isn't really what I want. This isn't a true union. I'm settling, and I can't stop that yearning. Right? It's like a yearning. That's your soul calling you. I want more. I'm destined for more. Right? If you're on the twin flame path, you're destined for more than this. Right? This Queen of Wands and the Three of Cups. And then how do you nurture your inner child through this? And you've got the Six of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. So the inner child still wants to get somewhere, to be perfect before she rests. So your inner child is like, this is the earning love. I want to earn love, right? So then she'll rest. So these reversals say, stop trying to graduate from healing and stay curious. Like, I just have to heal. All I have to do is heal, and then it'll be better when I heal. And it's never ending. And that's your inner child. That she doesn't feel worthy of love, right? That you've got to prove yourself. You've got to earn your love, and then you can rest. So nurture comes from learning gently, right? With the Page of Pentacles reversed, not racing to the next thing, but taking your time and having patience as you learn. So this would be like journaling, creative play, slowing down. That fits with the fractal reading too. And returning to the beginner's mind, right? The beginner's mind out of this Page of Swords and Knight of Swords reversed, right? The beginner's mind. And that will soothe your child. So give your child gentleness, give your child patience as you move through this. And this is your emotional body. And the gift being conceived is the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands. So this is confidence that comes from you committing to being authentic. So after so much questioning, you're learning what it feels like to be visible as yourself, not putting on a dog and pony show, just you being authentic as yourself, right? To be visible in that, with the mask is off. So this is radiance that follows humility, public recognition that mirrors your self-respect. And the feminine gift here is embodied leadership. And you inspire simply by walking in truth here. And then let's look at how your rebirth, because this is a rebirth trajectory for you, for sure, Divine Feminine. How does it reshape union? Right? Union is what you want here. You've got the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So union moves from ideal in your head into embodiment. Means it lands in the 3D now. So this is emotional fulfillment. This is the happy card, right? The Ten of Cups. Emotional fulfillment. And it joins creative starts. Creative starts. And this is sexuality. Your sexual passion starts to come back online. And love becomes action. It's not waiting. I'm not waiting for something or someone. Right? It starts here. This is the spark that gets lit. And so instead of longing for completion or when I'm healed, you now are with Source, right? With the divine. And the connection becomes a living fire rather than something distant and like a distant mirage, right? Out in the future. Here. Okay. So that's good. That's very good. And then the world card is the anchor, and this is a completion of a karmic pattern of dimming yourself and making yourself small. So you can be inclusive and kind, right? And but you stay in your power. You can stay in your power. So integration, mastery, wholeness. This cycle that began with chasing knowledge ends with embodied wisdom. Embodied wisdom. You're no longer seek a savior or a mirror. You're both. You're your own savior and you're your own mirror. So you're not meant to shrink to fit into a circle. You're not meant to settle for friendship and no sexual fulfillment, no soul to soul union. You're not meant to do that, right? The truth is this is what you want and this is what you're destined for. Sun, the happiest card in the tarot, and the Four of Wands. This is twin flame union right here. So you have to claim your fire. Claim your fire. And your rebirth is about no more bargaining. You're not going to bargain anymore. This is an ancestral. You got this from your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother. This is your conditioning to make yourself small, right? And not in silent. You're not meant for that. You're meant for the Six of Wands. You're meant for Ten of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So the world has said this is over, right? This is totally over. So that will be the demon that comes up in your limo, right? So just be aware of that. That demon that's telling you to be small and you'll be rejected or tossed out of the tribe if you're too full of yourself, right? Or if you'll be persecuted if you speak. Okay. So that's what I got in an hour and 41 minutes. Well, I'm going to timestamp this because I value your time. I really do. And I want to thank the people that have watched this till the end. I don't think I'd say that enough, that I really appreciate the ones that have been following me for a long time. And my prayer is that my messages really help and support you on this journey. So you can follow me on Instagram. I post daily, and you'll notice I'm doing transit stuff. So it's some of it's funny. Like I still like doing funny memes, but I also like to be guiding you through this time, through these rough seas. So Instagram, Telegram, and then YouTube, my YouTube posts too. And then I've got a free newsletter too that I put out once a week. Okay. So have a great week and get good with that demon in the limo and just do the work. Do the work. This is an opportunity, right? Don't see it as punishment. It's an opportunity to be liberated. Okay. Satnam aloha, everybody. And I'll see you in the next.